Web.
Well, you know, my friend, they watched you for months, silently, patiently, not like the clumsy surveillance you see in movies. No, this was surgical, clean, cold. They mapped your behavior patterns, your searches, your sleepless nights, the way you stopped responding to distractions, the way you moved differently, like someone who doesn't care for the circus anymore. And then something clicked. You stopped fitting in. You stopped feeding the algorithm. You became an anomaly in a system built to predict chaos. See, the world doesn't fear destruction. It fears unpredictability. And you were no longer predictable. You started doing strange things. You read books till your eyes burned. You deleted the apps that sedated your mind. You stopped reacting to their bait. They gave you dopamine traps, likes, reels, swipes, stories. And you walked past them like they were corpses on the street. You weren't supposed to do that. You were supposed to scroll, supposed to laugh, supposed to obey the rhythm. But you didn't. You broke the rhythm. And that's when you made it onto the list. The CIA didn't say it out loud, but the signal was clear. You're a potential threat. Not because you carry a weapon, not because you post cryptic messages, but because you stopped being a slave, because you became aware. You saw the strings, and worse, you stopped dancing. You see, in a world full of noise, silence is violence. When a man no longer craves approval, when his eyes stop flickering for validation, when his mind becomes still like a predator before the kill, that's when the agencies pay attention. Because someone who isn't distracted is dangerous. Someone who thinks is dangerous. Someone who questions is radioactive. They called it behavioral deviation. What it really means is you remembered who you were before they put their fingers in your brain. They trained you since childhood. Slowly, sugar in your cereal, heroes on your screen, noise in your ears. They gave you a routine: school, job, taxes, screen, sleep, repeat. They taught you how to chase shadows. But then, you stopped chasing. You stood still. You looked at the system. And instead of clapping, you asked why. And that is when the alert went out. A human being, fully awake, is a glitch in their matrix. Someone who doesn't fear being alone. Someone who doesn't beg for entertainment. Someone who stares into the silence and doesn't flinch. That kind of person is too wild to predict, too raw to be packaged, too real to be sold. They've been watching your screen time. It dropped. Your consumption slowed. Your mind began creating instead of consuming. You weren't scrolling anymore. You were studying. You weren't buying anymore. You were building. Your thoughts no longer followed the script. You questioned trends. You challenged dogmas. You asked why weakness was normalized and why mediocrity was being celebrated. And when you didn't laugh along with the crowd, they flagged you. Because obedience is the true currency of this age. Not money, not status, but obedience, silent submission. The moment you become unpredictable, even slightly, you become suspicious. You weren't supposed to get this far. You weren't supposed to break through. And yet here you are. You walked past the dopamine cages, past the clickbait, past the influencers peddling emptiness. You didn't look for shortcuts. You looked for war. You signed up for suffering like a man who knows that pain is the password to power. That's when they labeled you. Not a threat to society, a threat to the system. a threat to the framework designed to keep everyone numb. You started taking cold showers. You stopped eating like a child. You started journaling your demons. You started reading psychology. You watched your own mind like an outsider. You saw your fear, your lust, your envy, your pride. You didn't deny it, you studied it. You started understanding how humans are manipulated, and worse, you started resisting it. You faced the voices, and you didn't run. Most people, they begged for distractions, but you sat in the dark. You stared at your wounds, and instead of covering them with noise, you picked at them. You asked, why am I this way? Who made me this way? Who benefits from my weakness? And the system trembled. They weren't scared of you when you were angry. They were scared of you when you became focused, calm, cold, intentional. Because anger is noisy, it's predictable. But clarity is lethal. You started waking up early, sleeping less, complaining less, eating cleaner, moving with purpose. Your phone became a tool, not a toy. Your room became a sanctuary, not a trash bin. You spoke less, observed more. And when people mocked your discipline, you didn't flinch. You had become sovereign. That word alone, sovereignty, is banned in subtle ways. They want you addicted, confused, seeking something, always needing, never still, never whole. But now, you had nothing to prove. You weren't looking for love in pixels. You weren't chasing meaning in memes. You were building something ancient, something forbidden, self-control. And in that moment, when the machine couldn't guess your next move, they knew you were becoming free. Freedom is a crime in a world built on control. You weren't raging, you weren't rioting, you were simply detaching from the games, from the fake goals, from the virtual cages. They saw you unsubscribing, logging out, pulling away, and they labeled you with one word: threat. You started seeking truth, not trends, depth, not dopamine. You walked into the discomfort. You shut the noise. You embraced the loneliness like a crown. You didn't chase women. You chased mastery. You didn't look for motivation. You built momentum. You became a storm, but not the kind that destroys buildings, the kind that awakens minds. You started to realize the truth, the ugly, twisted truth, that most people are living inside scripts they didn't write, desires they didn't choose, opinions they didn't test, lives they didn't build. But you weren't most people anymore. You looked at the mirror and didn't see a reflection. You saw a question, and that's when it all changed. The notifications stopped. The world felt quieter. But you knew it wasn't peace. It was observation. They weren't ignoring you. They were studying you. Because when a man becomes silent, but his eyes grow sharper, they know he's building something. Not an empire, a revolution. And the terrifying part? It starts inside his own mind. But revolutions don't go unnoticed forever. Not in a world where even your heartbeat is data. So when you start moving against the grain, not loudly, not violently, but with quiet precision, you trigger something deeper, something older. You step into a war you never declared, a war not fought with bullets, but beliefs, not with blood, but programming. And you've entered the battlefield without armor, because no one told you it was war. But look around. Everything is weaponized. Language, pleasure, comfort, even kindness. What looks harmless is often the most lethal, because they don't kill you with violence anymore. They kill you with convenience. Every smooth surface you touch, every tap, Every notification, every artificial smile, it's not just a distraction, it's a muzzle. They tried to make you forget. Not just facts, but instincts. The instinct to resist, to fight, to protect your own thoughts like territory. But you remembered. You started guarding your mental space like a soldier in hostile terrain. You questioned offers that came too easy. You looked behind every curtain. You didn't just refuse the lies, you started dissecting them. They call it paranoia. But you know what paranoia really is? It's pattern recognition, sharpened. It's what happens when your senses start working again, when the static dies down, and you start hearing the gears behind the show. The show they call reality. You saw how every choice had been designed for you in advance. The food, the goals, the ideologies. Even your dreams were pre-selected. But you burned the script. You stopped repeating what they taught you. You no longer shared opinions like hand-me-downs. You began sculpting your own perspective, piece by jagged piece. It wasn't perfect, but it was yours. And in a world of copies, originality is offensive.
Don't let the perfect match pass you by. They might be closer than you think. With Are You Interested, you can find single women in your neighborhood. No fake profiles, no ghosting. Just real people nearby ready to connect. No games, no deceptions, just authentic vibes that could change your life. Picture yourself on a date with someone who shares your passions, maybe even the one. It all starts with signing up. So what are you waiting for? Join Are You Interested and see who is nearby.
A wider smile brightens more than just your teeth. Colgate Optic White's unique hydrogen peroxide technology is engineered to remove deeper stains for a visible difference in just 3 days. So you can live life to the brightest.
Because every original mind is a mirror. It reflects the artificiality around it. And that reflection makes people uncomfortable. You didn't argue anymore. You observed. You realized truth doesn't scream. It waits. You stopped feeding debates that were designed to burn time. You stopped defending yourself to people who were programmed to misunderstand. You walked away, not in retreat, but in dominance. Because silence from a self-aware man isn't absence, it's power. That's when they escalated. You started noticing the new waves. The manipulation got more refined, less obvious. They no longer attacked you, they seduced you. With luxury, with validation, with voices that pretended to empower you while caging your thinking. You weren't being chained, you were being comforted into stagnation. And stagnation.
Straight stagnation. But anyway, heathens, like I said, y'all, we was on the Eastern Stars thing this morning. You understand me? It's all of the devil, right? It's all of the devil. And like I said, you can ask any of these Eastern Stars, right? Little test for y'all, like we did the BBLs. When you get next to someone that think they all that because they got a stinking ass BBL, you say, what is that smell, right? Now with the Eastern Star, only thing you got to do, ladies and gentlemen, is ask him, who was Robert Morrison? Robert Morris. Robert Morris. And I bet you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that they don't even know who Robert Morris is, y'all. Guarantee you, they couldn't tell you who Robert Morris is. Traffic flowing, they done bust the UB for nothing. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead. Keep up with the... What the fuck is you doing? Idiots, man. We over here at Crozier, y'all. They got until 4 o'clock to come up with some type of negotiation. Or they gonna shut the doors, man. That's crazy. And I'm hearing all morning, I mean, people being rushed to the hospital. So if they shut the doors, y'all gonna have to take that light. That light don't work. The light don't work. I don't think the light work, y'all. Straight up, flat out. The light don't fucking work, y'all. Light don't work at all. They're gonna be there all goddamn morning sitting. Stagnating. We got places to go, people to see, goddamn it. Goddamn light don't work. But anyway, before we was highly interrupted with them heathens in traffic, stuck on stupid. Like I said, peoples, we done cracked the code on the Eastern Stars, right? Was founded by Robert Morris, right? A highly ranked Mason. So it goes hand in hand, y'all. What I'm trying to tell y'all. Go hand in hand, ladies and gentlemen. You understand me? Our people's been duped. You understand me? Been duped. God damn it. Admit it, denounce it, and educate the youth of not getting caught up in that foolishness. Of that Luciferian worshiping. I told y'all that. I told y'all we was gonna crack the code on we did the Freemasons. We did the Divine Nine, right? We started with the Divine Nine first. We started in the beginning with them heathens. In college, signing up for their own demise. The blind lead the blind, they all end up in the ditch. And what's crazy, the founders of all these organizations are white men. The same people that y'all saying Donald Trump is racist, Hitler, and this, that, and the third. The founders of these organizations and cults was Nazis. That's the crazy part. Real true Nazis that y'all following, bowing down to, giving y'all worship to. Like I said, 2, 3 deities, god damn it. I told you, y'all, over here, we gonna crack that goddamn case. That fine. I got up on it. Like a goddamn skeleton in the face. We over here at Wilder, y'all, but yeah, y'all, we done cracked the motherfucking code, the case, whatever y'all want to call it, on the Eastern Stars, man. They another group of heathens. Like I said, our peoples, man, the curse of the Eastern Stars, man. That's handed down, the curse of Ham. It's in the scriptures, man. The curse of motherfucking Ham, man. Black. Is black really evil? God damn it. Dang. We was duped, y'all. We was duped. And I hear some of y'all starting to wake up on y'all social media pages and channels and whatnot. And y'all realize everything that was taught to and told to us was a fucking bold-faced lie. You understand me? So once you understand those facts, you won't be out this bitch doing so much capping. God damn it. It'll come down to common sense at that point. It'll come straight down to common sense at that point. You understand what I'm saying, peoples? We've been duped, led astray. The great leaders that came before us warned us of these organizations and cults y'all sign up for, all that foolishness that y'all engaged in is the curse of the African American community. And that's why the African American community will never come together as one. It's impossible. It's fucking impossible. You got too many cults, man. You got too many Luciferian worshipers that's standing on that. You understand me? They standing on that. Luciferian worshipers, y'all. So you know when you're a person of the Most High and Lucifer don't get along at all. So that's one reason why we'll never get together. Because it's like they say, good versus evil, right? In our own communities. Good versus evil. Pick a side. What side are you on? Good or evil? And that's why you see most of these Negroes, the percentage that I said, out here on the evil side with George Soros trying to destroy America. You see? See that? See how that worked? And it's right here in our face, y'all. I told you everything that was taught to us and told to us was a motherfucking lie. You understand me? And it's for us to decipher the shit. And once you decipher the shit and wake up, you heard the message in the beginning of the video, you'll realize that everything that was taught and told to us was a motherfucking lie. From the holidays to your birthday, goddammit. Are you really that age? Huh? Are you really that age that you say you are? That's the question. Now, that's another topic for another time and shit. You understand me? We can most definitely touch on that. Who created birthdays and told you was that age? I'll wait. But I know it's heavy teaching over here, y'all. When we get into it, we get into it. I told y'all we go find out who's the founders of whatever the situation is at that time. You understand me? What the situation is at that time. And we done recovered motherfucking Robert Morris. Whoever knew Robert Morris? Let me ask somebody that's an Eastern Star, do they know Robert Morris? And then I asked the other mass, who is motherfucking Albert Pike. You see what I'm saying? That's the question for the fellas. That's in those organizations. And the question for the ladies is, who is motherfucking Robert Morris? You understand me? They the questions I would ask. And if they don't know who these people are, right then and there, you can end the conversation because they did no research in the organization they in. Right? Right? And I guarantee you ask any of them two people I just said, for the Eastern Stars, Robert Morris, who was Robert Morris, and then ask the Freemasons who's Albert Pike. Right? And I guarantee you they don't know who they are. I did ask one Mason who was Albert Pike. He had no clue. And I left it alone. Because I knew he was in an organization he had no clue of what he was engaged in. You understand me? Check. Check. So you want to have a debate? We can have a debate. God damn it. Because I'm going to crack your head. And that's why I don't get no debates. And I remain undefeated in debates. Once I put it down on you and expose you of who you are and what you are engaged in. You understand me? Check. Fact though, not fiction. And like I said, at the end of that video, we're gonna crack the heads of the elks. Alright? We're gonna crack the heads of the elks next. We're gonna crack their head next, y'all.
In this war is defeat. But
It's defeat, you heard? In this war is defeat. God damn it. And that's what's next. Cracking the head of the motherfucking elks next. I told y'all, when they used to have these parades and shit, they used to have these parades and whatnot, and you would have some of the cult followers in the parade representing their banner, right? And when the elks come through, they always used to, back then I was little, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a dog paw. At that point, it's on some spookism shit. You're a youngster and you see a motherfucker carrying a dog paw, you're like, what the fuck is this? And then come to realize it wasn't no dog paw, ladies and gentlemen. It was a motherfucking deer hoof. Like I said, a deer hoof. You understand what I'm saying? So what's up with the elks and the deer? You got them riding the deer, the elks riding the deer, and then you got the Masons riding the goat. Same like shit, y'all. You ride the goat, or you ride the goddamn deer. God damn it. You understand me? Foolishness. Foolishness. And like I said, all these organizations was founded by white men. And they'll come up here and say, oh, he lying, I don't know what he talking about. No, it wasn't. We don't follow that branch of the, you're still following the same goddamn rituals. You understand me? So go ahead and miss me with the fuck shit. I keep telling y'all what. Miss me with it. I ain't buying into that shit at all. You understand what I'm saying? At all, I'm not buying into it. So go on and tell somebody else, some illegal migrants that might have crossed the border a couple days ago, that they don't know what they talk about. Because goddamn it, we done did the research, goddamn it. And we know, just like Pulaski, Tennessee, goddamn it. Founded by who? The KKK and the Democrats was in the bed together, goddamn it. Willie Lynch. You understand me? Fuck out of here, man. Then I ask you, what's your name, goddammit? You so woke and revolutionized. What's your name? Are you still named after your slave master, goddammit? From the plantation? All right, then shut the fuck up. Miss me with the fuck shit. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna be the one that's being exposed, goddammit. Of the hypocrisy that you involved in. Deception. You was, you know what I mean? They led you astray. But now why you out here leading people astray? Lying. defending fuck shit, defending Lucifer. Want to give them more power. Don't want to reveal your secrets. Guess what? Goddamn it. The world we live in now, your secrets are revealed. They on the internet. You can Google it. Goddamn it. However you want to do it, it's on the internet. Wide open. For the mass to see. Of the foolishness and fuckery y'all been involved in. So you can't really blame nobody but yourself for being a follower, being part of the go along, get along, gang, gang, gang. Understand what I'm saying? And when the peoples bring the light to the peoples, y'all want to keep them in the darkness. Y'all want to keep the people in the darkness. Nah, I'm going to bring the light to the people. Understand me? I'm gonna bring the light to them. I'm gonna wake the peoples up. I'm gonna wake the mass up. I've been in the dark too long. That curse, you gotta break that curse. But the curse, you see, we done went and found the curse and where it comes from. See, and a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen, don't like to talk about the wickedness of the Eastern stars because their mothers, aunties, and grandmothers and great-grandmothers was involved in that, y'all. In those organizations. That's why you don't see a lot of people talking about the satanic wickedness of the Eastern stars. They don't talk about it because their family members, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble if I talk about it. No, you're not. You're not gonna get in trouble because you're exposing, you're enlightening the people that wasn't enlightened at the time. Maybe if they was enlightened, they wouldn't enjoy the organization. And became part of the go along, get along gang of some Eastern star created by Robert Morris. You understand me? They wouldn't have been involved in that shit, y'all. If they knew what I knew. Like I said, they ain't had this technology and these tools that we had in the past. They didn't have it. You understand me, Chuck? It's not up here. I'm not up here to bash you. I'm up here to enlighten the ones that's still asleep. That's feeble. That most of y'all will stick your fangs in to get them to join up into the same foolishness you in. No, we ain't doing that. And that's why a lot of people don't talk about the Eastern stars on these channels. Because their mothers, wives, aunts, grandmothers, sisters, great-grandmothers, all of them was engaged in it, y'all. Just like the Freemasons. But we quick to expose the men fuckery while we can't expose the females fuckery. God damn it, it works both ways at the end of the day. Bottom line. It is what it is. And that's the percentage I'm talking about that's out here capping for Kamala Harris. All of them are in bed together, y'all, with Lucifer. And it all started from college, all the way up until now, to their grown years, elderly years. Their teenage years, elderly years, adult years. They was involved in fuckery. The curse of Ham. You understand me? Which their kids gonna have. That's why black folk is at the bottom of the chain. You understand me, peoples? And that's the example of why black folks is at the bottom of the chain, involved into all these Luciferian-like cults that they are engaged in. And that's forbidden from in the eyes of the Most High. It's forbidden. That's, you know what I mean? Come on. You bowing down and taking an oath to 2, 3 more dead things, and not only that, Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub that y'all taking these motherfucking oaths to? That's the crazy part. And y'all know that. And half of y'all know that. Because you was programmed into following that foolishness. See how the program tool work, and it's official. That shit works. There's somebody now, right now, joining one of them divine non-organizations in these fraternities. There's somebody right now becoming the Eastern Star. There's somebody right now becoming a Mason, going through the rituals. You understand me? That's the West Sports Complex over there. And they done that joint, y'all. Yeah, y'all, when we came down here yesterday, y'all see that truck with the furniture? I told y'all they got a studio apartments over top of this joint here, y'all. Over top of the river. How many of y'all knew that? They got studio apartments down here, y'all. You'll be surprised who got a motherfucking studio apartment down here, y'all, up top. See if I can bang a U-turn and show y'all. Look up top where the studio joints at. Studio apartments. That truck was delivering studio furniture yesterday. I mean, it overlooks the fucking river. I mean, I had some bread, y'all. Yeah. But you'll be surprised who got a motherfucking a studio up top of this building here that overlooks the river. Y'all see that up top? Up top. They studio apartments up top. Overlooks the river and shit. Okay? Overlooks the river. Be surprised who got a goddamn apartment studio up there, yeah? You'd be surprised. Be like, oh shit, yeah, you got a joint up there. They said Kevin Durant had something to do with the union. They got food in here too, guys. If you wanted to come down here and get some food, they got food up in here. They got like a dine-in spot up in here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Down here at the old electric company. You can go in there, get some grub. Some nice food in there too, y'all. You know they gonna have some nice food up in there. Straight up. A lot of people don't even know about that either. You know what I'm saying? But you got to go in there with your debit card or a credit card. They don't take cash. Go in there and make sure you got your debit card or cash and shit. You can dine in that motherfucker and shit. Still building. It's the West Sports Complex where we at, y'all. Right off from Subaru Park, right here on the right. It's a nice outing down here, y'all. got going on this morning? You're having some nice outings down this joint. A lot of people don't know about it. You just got to get out and get into the community and see what's popping, especially when the weather breaks. If you having stuff down here, I most definitely can say that. Not on no hate and shit. But like I said, we're gonna get on them Elks ass next, y'all. But I wanted to most definitely bring that video to the peoples about the Eastern Stars. You know what I mean? Like, we can't just go after the men and think ain't gonna be no backlash when it comes to them females that's in these organizations too. You understand me? Check. Be a lot of accidents right there, y'all. You can see why, right? Everybody try to beat that light sometimes, you know what I mean? Running late to work, running late to the plantation. You know what I mean? They don't want to get doxxed by massa. Been doxxed all this week. One more dox, we're gonna have to let you go. God damn it. Gonna have to let you go, God damn it. One more dox. Yeah, y'all, so, you know, everything is everything. Everything is everything, y'all. Hey, Robert Morris. You know I'm gonna be on that. Hey, y'all. We got three. Like I said, let me rewind it again, y'all. Let me bring it back and rewind it. Robert Morris is who, y'all? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, who is Robert Morris? The founder of what? The Eastern Stars. He was a Mason, right? Albert Pike, 33rd degree Mason, right? The founder of the Masons. Ew, what's that smell? The stinking ass BBL when you next to a female that thinks she all that. You understand me? That's some arsenals y'all can put in y'all gun. Especially when it comes to those organizations and what they involved in. So we already know about the Greek, the Freaks, the Divine Nine, right? Atlas and all those Greek philosophers that they follow, right? All again, once again, all white power. All white power, y'all, that they follow. But yet, claim Donald Trump is Hitler. Make it make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Make it make sense. God damn it. Pick a side, god damn it. Good or evil. What side are you on? Good or evil? Huh? You gotta pick a side now. Ain't no lesser of evil fuck shit. We ain't trying to hear that. Pick a side, goddammit, because otherwise we gonna look right through you. And we gonna see the wickedness in you. Goddammit. The wickedness that you have in your heart for your own peoples. And I know a lot of black folks have watched this video. Straight instant hate. Instant hate. You understand me? Because they don't like the truth. They don't like the truth, ladies and gentlemen. They like to be lied to and spoiled and always looking for handouts. You understand me? Always looking for crumbs on the plate to sell their own peoples out like they've been doing since the 60s, goddammit, since slavery, goddammit. Y'all want to go there with it? Heathens. Like I said, this planet is one big slave ship, and we're all slaves, goddammit. Every last single one of us are slaves, modern day slaves. Ain't nothing changed. Goddammit. Only thing changed was the rent. Only thing changed was the rent. Goddammit. And that's a fact, not fiction. 100% fact, not fiction.